I guess they just feel like mecha, because everyone's just sort of slowly getting like mecha.
Fine with me.
Yeah. Oh, hey, you're back. Yeah. I was just like rambling on about like how effing Eliza's new form looks like it just has a microwave strap to it.
Yeah, I get that, but it's a heart monitor.
Oh yeah, I even said that, but still, I can't disassociate it. It just looks like Faust has all this cool medical equipment, and he's just like, and this is in case I need to warm up a pizza roll. You know, working at late nights gets very tiring, you know? Just shoves in there, hits like 5, it's just done instantly.
A single pizza roll.
It shoves like a frozen TV dinner in there, hits like 3, and it's just like, just pops out piping hot. It's just the power of the true oversoul. So yeah, I should mention, we got a comment, and it was basically mentioning up something I believe I heard before, but I kind of forgot about, which is the original ROM Shaman King, the like mangaka just sort of went through a bunch of like, you know, crazy horrible burnout. And they had to basically like cancel the series right at the end. And then it was like something like years later, they like, you know, eventually came back to it, you know, with like a fresh mind, re-released the series, redo a bunch of like pages and panels and stuff, and then they like, you know, gave it like a proper actual ending just to like finish it off.
Okay.
Yeah, because I could be wrong, but I wouldn't be surprised if it was like, you know, his biggest success so far, if nothing else. So yeah, there are moments in this episode that just were not in the manga I'm reading, probably because it was like added in like, you know, the later re-release and wasn't in the original like, you know, run. Like specifically there's like a part where Anna uses some weird reverse curse thing that does something, and that I just could not find that panel in the manga. It didn't seem to be there.
Hey, Anna's freaking strong.
Oh yeah, Anna's really strong. But yeah, that also explains one other big thing, and it's that this section of the anime is just sort of going off the rails super hard.
Things are picking up pace really fast, but I kind of love it.
I feel like on the opposite side, it's like, oh yeah, things are like, I like that things are happening, but it feels like everyone's just teleporting around and nothing means anything. Like, it feels like it's like too fast, right? It's going like too crazy with it, and we're like, you know, missing big scenes that could have been really cool and interesting.
Well, I'm not reading the manga, so I don't have that perspective.
Yeah. Because, like, there's something I mentioned in the Discord, because it just blew my mind. Because there's a part of this episode where it's have the billion different things that happens, like, Lyser goes to hell and he fights all his inner demons. And it's like there's this big crazy moment where he's like, okay, yeah, you know, this is like, you know, hell, so I can control it. I can like change things with my mind to suit my will. And he turns himself into an angel with this big fancy sword. And that's the end of the chapter. Meaning, if you were following this, you have had to have, like, waited a week on the cliffhanger of Lyser turns himself into an angel in hell to fight an army of demons to see where that's going. And the very next chapter starts up with, like, a full-page spread of Lyser just on the ground having been, like, smashed down by the demon's giant fist. It's, like, it's kind of insane. Like, if I was reading this week to week, I would have been so fucking angry.
In the anime, this scene confused the crap out of me.
Yeah, because it's like, you know, it's like the afterlife, so you could just do whatever.
No, I get that. That's the part. that I understand, but it's like the speed at which this happens and then it ends made me question if it actually happened at all.
Yeah. Yeah,
Because
like
Lyserg's like, I am an angel, and then he like attacks or whatever, and then the next shot is him immediately getting smashed into the ground, and when you see him again, he isn't an angel anymore. And it's like, did he imagine that would happen?
yeah. That's pretty accurate to the manga. Just directly 1-to-1. The only way it could be more accurate is if this was the big cliffhanger they ended the episode on. And then you had to wait a week to see him getting beaten. In like one shot, basically off screen.
Yeah, that would have sucked.
Oh, yeah. So,
Fortunately, Abba shows up, and he decides to help despite the fact that he said earlier that he couldn't help.
Yeah.
It's like, hey, Lyserg, just imagine yourself the way you think you should look, and you'll be fine.
Yeah, oh, hey, I brought morphine to you. Is it the real morphine? Yeah, sure, I guess. Oh, yeah, also I brought, like, Zuriel to you. No, it's not Zuriel, it's like Marco's angel, isn't it?
Marco's.
Yeah, because Marcos says, like, oh, yeah, go, Raphael, I think is. Go, Raphael, help Lyserg as he's, like, dying.
Yeah.
Which is also really confusing.
I'm gonna say, as long as he believes they're the real ones, then they are.
Except for the angel, which actually is the real angel.
Yeah.
It's the real angel car. So yeah, jumping back a bit, this episode just starts off with, like, Marco's car. Because Marco's just, like, bleeding out, dying on the ground. And he's just, like, creates his, like, oversoul in, like, car form. He's like, oh yeah, Tamao and, like, Miss Maiden and stuff. Like, go, like, I have enough, like, mana id so that you can escape fine, But, like, you need to get help.
No, he actually says that Tamao should have enough for Ryoku to power it.
Oh, yeah, alright, yeah. Jeez, there's so much that happens in this episode, it's actually hard to keep track. Like, they just leave, and Hal's like, oh, you're, like, sacrificing yourself for Miss Maiden, huh? Alright, then I guess, we'll just kill you, as, like, Lucius goes to, like, chase down the car, because of course.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, Anna and the kids with the golem show up out of nowhere to save him.
Yeah, there's a cool shot.
Sorry, that happened first. That's the only way they were able to get away, is that they showed up.
Yeah, and there's a cool shot where it's like, I forget if it was in the anime, but it was definitely in the manga, where, like, Lucius, like, drops one of his bullets really cool, and then it turns into the black car so he can chase them.
Yeah, I don't think it was.
Yeah, I don't remember it being in the anime. But yeah, so they're escaping, and, like, and the main guy specifically remembers seeing there's just one panel that I don't think was in the anime, where it's like, as Marco's car is driving away, you can see the, like, which one's, like, the raccoon dog? Like, Conchi?
I'm gonna say Ponchi.
Ponchi, yeah. Ponchi's just driving the car, and he looks crazy.
Yeah, that's in the anime.
Okay, yeah, I probably should have rewatched through the anime episode, but I was just low on time, and just, oh man, so much.
Yeah, Ponchi's driving the car.
Oh man, it is a nice little detail, but it's like, oh yeah, of course.
Yeah. So, something I didn't even think about with the space laser is this whole deal where it's like, Hal brings it up. He's like, you've caused a lot of trouble for us here, because that was a non-Japanese satellite that just fired at a Japanese island.
Yeah, that's kind of a big deal.
Yeah, and then he says that, and I'm like, oh crap.
Yeah, Hal's just straight up like, alright, well, yo, there's only one way to fix this. And he's like, yo, I've gotta make sure all the people who try to invade the island now to, like, just investigate all just die.
Yep. I have to kill them all now. Good job, Marco.
Yeah, we can't let the world know that shamans are, like, still a real thing. Not yet, at least. Not until I become God.
Yeah.
I don't want them interfering in my, like, ascension. So, yeah, that's a whole thing. And, like...
I will admit that the pace of this episode is kind of crazy.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, subbed up.
Because I just watched this episode, like, a little bit before we started. And my memory is hazy as to what happens when.
Yeah, because it's... Alright, so it's like Marco creates the car and then they escape. And then we, like... cut over to Yo in hell, and he's like fighting demons and stuff. And he's like, oh yeah, Yo, are you a bad guy? Alright, if you're fine, then I'll just leave you alone. And the dude's like, alright, but I'm gonna kill you. And Yo's like, alright, that makes it easier, I'll just murder you then. So he just backs off, and he's like, wait, no, alright, promise, I won't hurt you. And Yo's like, alright, cool, take me to your boss, the king of hell.
Okay, so the demon is actually like, he's about to be, Yo's about to land the finishing blow, and the demon says, wait, no, please, I have a family. And then Yo goes, oh, okay, I'll let you live then. And then the demon goes, I lied. And then Yo's like, oh, okay, then I won't feel bad about killing you. And the demon is just like, oh, okay, no, I give up for real.
It's such like a... But yeah, so it's like, alright, Yo's gonna meet with, like, effing Inma, the king of hell, and they're gonna have a big whole thing. And then it cuts back to the real world. We're talking about Shaman King.
Mm-hmm.
Right, yeah, I probably should have clear. Yeah, we're talking about, like, Shaman King episode 43, so this is, like, in-series big spoilers.
Although
yeah,
you could feasibly mistake Lyserg here as a Digimon.
Yeah, actually, that's pretty true. He does look a lot like Lucimon. Just straight up. But yeah, just cut back to the real world. And, like, it's like effing people are dying, and, like, Ryu is, like, getting his ass handed to him. Honestly, yeah, like... So here's the thing, there's, like, Shaman King, there's a new show out, there's a big, like, remake for Netflix. It's, like, it's pretty good, pretty fun, I'd recommend checking it out. The ending has been kind of wild and insane and just going all over the place, though, and it's kind of falling apart. But hopefully it, like, pulls itself together soon.
Yeah,
but
so
yeah...
Ryu's freaking out about Sati being killed, because of course he is.
Yeah, everyone has ghost powers and Sati's powers to summon, like, a god-tier Buddha spirit.
And she can bring people back to life.
Yeah. So effing, like, insane mad scientist necromancer Dr. Faust. It's like, alright, well, thankfully now I've also acquired the power to revive the dead.
So he brings Yo back.
Yeah, he brings Yo back, and Yo just is like, he's just there, he's like, oh yeah, hi. I'm just like, wait, weren't you gonna talk to the Demon King? What the fuck happened? How'd that go down? Did it even take place? Excuse me?
I'm gonna guess it just happened off camera.
Yeah, that feels like something we probably should have seen and had, like, a moment around, Yo. Like, a whole, like, chapter where Yo, like, confronts the Demon King and maybe gets some, like, answers or something. And he's like, oh yeah, sorry, I can't talk, I'm being summoned back to the world of the living.
I mean, we didn't see it with Chocolove either.
Yeah, true.
I get the impression that, like, either the King of Hell isn't a big deal or just getting to him is enough.
I feel like the King of Hell would probably be a big deal, considering it's the King of Hell.
Okay, well then maybe he's just not a big deal to anyone who's strong enough, like Yo or Chocolove.
Yeah. So yeah, for clarification, we're watching like the early like like pirated releases or whatever. I mean the early releases. So yeah,
Yeah,
this show's probably gonna take like another few months before it comes on Netflix. Just
yeah,
because they like wait until everything's got like dubs and stuff before it like finally comes out.
yeah. We're watching it on a pirate website basically
So
because
yeah, this
it's
is
trapped in Netflix jail.
so this is like way ahead of schedule. Just for like clarity. But yeah, I appreciate you showing up and everything. So yeah, I think like just like comes back and he just immediately beats all of Hal's men with like no problem.
Yeah, which that's the indication to me that like all that happened off screen. Like, yes, Yo was strong. You probably could have beat them anyways, but it's like the way like how effortlessly he does it with this. I get the impression that he finished his training.
Yeah. So yeah, it's like, oh yeah, Faust, how more times can you revive people? He's like, oh well, it uses a lot of energy, so I can do it like once more, very conveniently.
Yeah, and so it's like, all right, bring back the other person who can revive people, and then she'll bring back the other person who can revive people.
Yeah, then we'll be able to save everyone as long as their bodies are fine, because we're just in Dragon Ball territory now. Death doesn't matter, we can fix everything.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the west coast of the island, Hal's minions are gathering to fight the Navy?
So I should mention, there is a very subtle thing in this section that I like almost missed because it goes by so fast. But you do see for a second, it like pans out, and you see that like Marco's car arrives, and then Lucius' car like arrives like like on the other side of the pier, and
Yeah.
it like takes off. So it's like, okay, yeah, they escaped from like Lucius and like they saved all the friends, including somehow Marco, who was just like laying dying on the ground the last we saw. And also the golem is just there. Wait, no, yeah, because they like put Marco on the golem. All right, never mind. That actually does check out because like they brought Marco and the golem. Yeah.
Yeah, everybody left, and Anna stayed behind to fight Hal.
It's such a weird blink and you miss it moment that it's like it's so confusing.
Yeah.
It's like,
It's
wait,
just,
why are you here? Shouldn't you be dead? Wait, what?
yeah. So going back to me being like, oh, Anna's so strong, and she stays behind to fight Hal, and he's like, oh, why can't I read you? What are you? Do you have some secret power that I don't know about? And she's like, maybe.
Anna's the strongest power of all. She's got the power to kick the final boss in the dick.
She, like, it's jumping ahead a bit, but we cut to the end of the episode, and Hal is actually injured. Anna is holding her own and potentially winning.
Yeah, she's like making it work. Hal's just straight up like, he can't beat her without outside assistance. He's just like, oh geez, this is way harder than I expected. Hey, if only I had some like ghosts I could absorb for power. Oh, would you look at that?
Yeah, so it is there is something to be said, and it's Hal said that he would hold back against her. Like, he's going to avoid killing her if he can. So it could be because he's holding back.
I would completely believe Anne's just that strong at this point.
Oh, I'm sure. But the thing is, Hal holding back is still stupid strong.
Oh, yeah.
Like, yeah. I think he attacks her with Spirit of Fire, and she repels it.
Yeah. So yeah, just straight up like back when like all the Buddhist people were like doing their thing, they were like, oh yeah, our special ability is like mana nullification. We can just like, we can nullify attacks. And like now it's like, oh, I guess like everyone strong can just do it, huh?
I don't think it's the same thing.
Cause like Anna just, like, nullifies the Spirit of Fire's arm and it disappears, and then Hal says something like, oh, so you've learned man nullification, huh? And she attacks him with, like, the Shikigami, and he does, like, the similar thing, implying he can also just do it.
Oh, okay. Maybe it just happened so fast I kind of missed it, but okay.
It's happened so quickly that you don't even think about it, but it's like, yeah, they're I guess all god-class shamans can just do this stuff now.
Yeah. Also, I guess Hal is really looking for a girlfriend because Tamal shows up and he's like, oh, if you're after an Asakura, I'm right here.
Why is Hal the horniest motherfucker?
I don't know. And then Anna stays behind and he's like, oh, did you just want to be alone with me? It's like, what are you doing, Hal? You're such a weirdo.
Like, it does add some interesting characterization, but also, how many, like, hundreds of years has this guy been alive just going through bodies again? I don't know, this feels a bit iffy, you know? I don't know if this quite checks out.
This is the kind of thing that's best not to think about too much, because it ultimately doesn't matter.
Man, have you ever heard of a movie called Near Dark?
Nope.
So it's a movie about, like, just a roaming, like, group of, like, gritty vampires that are all super depressed and sad and stuff, and they're all just crazy, like, southern rednecks.
Like southern redneck vampire is all you needed to say. That sounds great.
It's just like the head of the, like, found family of vampires is just straight up like, oh yeah, yo, like, I've been around like a long time, yo. Just to give you an idea, I fought for the South. It didn't go well. And yeah, it's honestly, looking back, it's probably a better movie than I first, like, like, Cav thought it was. There's just, like, a whole scene where they're like, yo, the police are just attacking because they keep murdering people, and then the police are just shooting at them in, like, this effing, like, yo, motel or whatever. And at first they're just like, just laughing, just like, oh yes, it's fine, the bullets aren't, like, doing anything, like, the gunfire's just bouncing off of them or whatever. And it's like, the police are shooting so many bullets that it's like, they're, like, forming holes in the wall and bits of light are coming through. And that's where it becomes a problem. Yeah, they have to, like, just literally, like, just duct tape up, like, and spray paint the windows of their car to keep light from getting in so they can escape. But yeah, big pause gig as there's just one member of the family that's like, it's like this little boy vampire. It's like a kid. But he's like, like, multiple hundreds of years old or whatever, so he's like an old man in, like, a kid's body, and he's just this tired, worn out, like, asshole child. And there's just the one scene where, he, like, sees this little girl, and he's just like, oh yeah, I could, like, convert her. And it's like, oh no.
Kind of reminds me of the Dragon Ball Super thing where Pilaf and his cronies get turned into children by the Dragon Balls or whatever. Yeah. And like Mai is one of the people, and she's like a full grown woman, but there seems to be like a thing blooming between her and Kid Trunks.
Yeah, that whole oh my, yeah, because that becomes canon, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Like, at least in that situation, it's like Child Mai actually seems to, like, act kind of like a kid. Like, it seems like it, like, reversed her emotional maturity and stuff, so it's not as weird, but it's still really weird.
Yeah.
Like, she's getting, like, flustered and crap, and it's like, okay, yeah, this... It's not good, but at least it's better.
Maybe. We don't worry about it. We don't think about it.
We don't think about how old Hal actually is. And how
Yeah.
he's, like... Hal must have, like... Oh, yeah, whatever, just kill that topic. Just shoot it in the street. It's done.
Yeah. Meanwhile, on the west coast of the island, Hal's minions are fighting the Navy. Question mark.
Well, it seems more like they're fighting each other.
Yeah. So, Peyote was a traitor, and he just kind of kills everybody.
Just holy crap! This episode, it's all over the place.
Yeah, Peyote kills everybody, no problem. And their justification for it is that Peyote is like, oh, by the way, Hal can read your minds. And that was enough to shake them up and catch them off guard that Peyote could kill all of them. Big guy Bill, the guy with the genie, the Hanagumi.
Do we even need to talk about how, like, Hanagumi go to kill Rin and the others, and then, like, June just shows up and revives them, and they're like, alright, well, I guess we can't do anything here, and they just leave.
Yeah, June can resurrect people, and Hanagumi leaves because, well, our job was said to dispose of the corpses, but they're not corpses, so bye.
Yeah, they know they can't win. They know they're outnumbered. And Rin's like, oh yeah, we could just take care of this problem right now. And June's like, no, don't. You might get injured.
Yeah, we can't afford that. There's bigger fish to fry.
I mean, she was right. They don't really do anything, but still, what if they did? That seems like a really big loose end to just leave around.
But, yeah, they go to meet up with all of Hal's minions, and Peyote kills everybody and himself.
Man. So here's the thing. This is, like, a well-done scene, I'll say. Like, it's, like, it looks cool, it's, like, really well, like, handled, well-directed. Like, a lot of that, goes down to the manga, because it's really well shot there. I like the idea of Peyote as a big traitor. I don't like the idea of him being a traitor and then, like, killing himself so he can no longer do anything now that we've established he's a traitor.
Well, he's like his whole thing is that he's like a crazy nihilist, and so he's like, I don't care.
Yeah. But it's like, even still, though, it's like, I would have preferred to see him on the side of, like, the Japanese military or Manta's dad or whatever, as this, like, kind of interesting background threat that might lead to something bigger, like, maybe he'll be like, oh yeah, I'll, like, play along and then I can steal the Great Spirit or some crap, something like that.
Well, that wouldn't fit. That wouldn't fit his nihilistic view because he doesn't care.
Sure, but you could have done something with this. Like, as is, it just feels like a really kind of cheap excuse to get rid of all of Hal's, like, minions in one go so the author doesn't have to keep worrying about them.
It does seem weird that Peyote, who lost because he laughed too hard, killed everybody.
Yeah. Never forget, Peyote was the only one who didn't laugh. He thought the joke sucked, but all of his banditos loved it.
Right, it was his oversoul.
Yeah. Still, because, like, this is the dude that, like, killed Rin, right? It feels like we should resolve that or something, I don't know, he's kind of been eclipsed by everyone else, but, like, yeah, maybe there's a way they could have worked around it, Have him sort of be, like, a background character who, like, tries to grab for power or something. I don't know. There's ways you could probably handle this, Take the souls of all of Hal's minions and turn them into your new banditos or something, right? I mean, like, get new puppets, shove Big Guy Bill in one or whatever, make an even bigger skeleton or something.
I don't know. I think Peyote's whole thing ran its course because he kept getting brought back for stuff.
Yeah, I don't know. It seems like an interesting turn of events that just leads to nothing, right?
I won't deny that it does feel like the writer was just like, all right, we need to like wipe the board.
Yeah, just I'm fine with killing off most of Hal's minions, but like let at least one of them be like, you know, the Zetsu or something. Where it's like, okay, yeah, you know, this guy's got like ulterior motives or something, and they can like maybe influence things at some point in the future.
I would believe that Hanagumi will be fine.
Yeah, I'd be fine with that. Although,
I feel like they're going to get resurrected.
Something tells me Hanagumi's not gonna make it through the next episode. I really, because Hal's like, so Peyote kills everyone, then Hanagumi just runs away, and they're like, well, crap, we have to tell Hal, but what are we gonna do? We're ghosts. And then Hal looks over, he's like, oh yeah, just why I needed more spirits to feed the spirit of fire for power. And they're oh.
Yeah, but I feel like it's in Anna's best interest to let that not happen.
Yeah, so you think, yeah, I could cast, you know, it's like, maybe Anna saves them, and they can, like, relay, like, info to the main group or whatever. Because they have been, like, you know, given, like, preferential framing a lot as, like, the big How team, right?
Yeah.
Like, they're the three, yeah.
They even got new outfits, like, recently.
Yeah. Okay, so I do want to mention that, because, like... Alright, what are you talking about with new outfits specifically?
Well, they got new outfits. That's it. They're not wearing what we saw them wearing the first time.
Okay, yeah, because, like, all of Hal's minions got, like, a redesign after, you know, their last big scene together. like, several episodes ago, yeah. And here's the thing, I kept forgetting to bring it up, but it's like, yeah, in the manga, like... they're wearing slightly different outfits. Where it's like, you know, like, specifically it's like Kana, the, like, main one with, like, the smoke ghost. Like, her shirt is, like, extending all the way down the manga. And it gets to, like, the chapter where this, like, fight happens specifically, and her outfit changes and it looks like it does in the anime. So you say new outfits, I'm like, oh right, he doesn't know about that. Because it was like such a small thing.
I didn't realize until they did a close-up on Big Guy Bill that he has like nipples on his costume.
Yeah, he's got effing like Lego nipples and Lego power armor. And he's still doing the big guy tackle.
Yeah. Doesn't Peyote cut him in half?
Yeah, just straight up.
Yeah, he's probably not coming back.
Yeah, like, all these guys get killed pretty badly.
Yeah. And the reason I believe Hanagumi could come back is that Kana gets stabbed, which is recoverable, and we didn't see how the implications they got smashed is how they died. But, their bodies could still potentially survive that.
Yeah, makes sense. As long as they don't rot or something. Although I feel like How could fix even that at this point.
Well, my theory is that the good guys will revive them.
Yeah. Sorry, did I say How? I meant Faust.
Oh, okay. Yeah, if you did say Faust, I heard it as How.
Yeah, sorry, I probably misspoke, yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, I feel like Faust could probably fix that.
Yeah. Also, yeah, so as you mentioned earlier, Manta's dad is just on the boat, and he seems to be in charge of, this ship that came to check out what's going on. Yeah, and also they know about the shamans and the Great Spirit, and they're like, yes, now we can take it.
Yeah, it's like Manta's dad's the bad guy now? What?
It's so weird. Maybe that's why he didn't want Manta involved with Yo.
I mean that does kind of make sense, but I mean this really does just come out of nowhere.
It really does. It's so weird.
Yeah, can we
Maybe
talk a second about the agent following Manta's dad or whoever who just has a fucking minigun?
Yeah, he
I
just
just
starts shooting at Hanagumi with it.
is that bullcrap to you? Cause it's no, the parallel's been a bit weird, but we saw way back with the bear that Horo can just stop bullets. So I mean, I feel like all these people should have their own ways to deal with gunfire.
Yeah, I mean, considering the Oversouls and Kana has a ghost that can't be destroyed really, and
Yeah.
I still don't buy the excuse that Peyote caught them off guard with knowledge that might not be true as far as they know.
It's fair enough. You know, it's Peyote's stronger than he let on. I can believe that.
There's also the idea that he beat the super crazy powerful genie that apparently stops at nothing once it's given an order.
Yeah, I guess once the shaman's dead, the Oversoul doesn't do much, huh?
Well, I guess, but you would think it would have done a better job at defending him.
Oh yeah, the genie is just gets wrecked.
Yeah, I don't know. I Peyote keeps showing up, and yes, he did kill Rin, but I didn't ever see him as the guy to do this and take down all of Hal's minions. It seems kind of absurd to me.
Oh, it's absolutely absurd. Literally all of them, huh? Even Blocken, who has a stupidly high power level.
Yeah.
Although I guess Blocken is kind of an idiot, so that checks out.
Yeah, but he didn't even beat them with a well thought out strategy or trapping them or whatever.
Nah, you're angry, so you lose.
Yeah, Peyote just uses brute force and throws knives into people and beats them down, and that's how he wins. It's all right.
To be fair, it is a pretty big knife. It stabs all through all of those Legos and kills Blocken on the other side.
Yeah.
Kills his entire Lego bird in one go.
It's maybe I'm yes, it is. Maybe it is a little too fast paced, but I might be at the point where I'm we're watching Digimon and nothing is happening, and then I watch Shaman King and it's yeah, stuff is happening.
Yeah. Oh yeah, it's absolutely I feel like I'd be lying if I said that wasn't influencing my opinion a bit. Just putting these two things back to back really does just change my perspective in weird ways.
Yeah. It's yeah, plot.
Holy crap, things we're learning stuff, new events are unfolding, new characters are doing things, old characters are doing things.
There's a traitor amongst Hal's minions. Anna might have a super secret ultra mega power.
Hal gets kicked in the dick. Hanagumi could die. Well, they did die, but yeah.
Hanagumi might live.
Yeah, there you go. You cut back to Digimon, and it's Gulu's Gamamon might do something eventually, I guess.
Yeah, it'd be way more fun if I felt like Gulu's Gamamon is more of a looming threat, but he seems to just be out of the picture for a while.
It really would have been interesting if Gulu's Gamamon showed up in the Peter Pan episode and just killed some kids. I don't think they would do that, but still, I mean, it would be really interesting if he just killed some kids, you know?
Yeah. Did I say in the last week's episode how I thought Battle Gamamon is gonna slide to Gulu's Gamamon when Hero was about to die?
Yeah, I think you said something. Actually, no, I don't think you said that, but yeah, that makes sense.
It's hey, that would have been a good opportunity. It's Gamamon feels negative emotions. It's my big brother is about to die because he considers him his brother.
Yeah. Oh boy. This is gonna get really interesting when we we get through epic like Shaman King, and then it's like, alright, now we have to watch like Digimon Ghost Game at the same time that we also watch Digimon Frontier.
Yep. Hey, Frontier will be a bit more interesting. I think it does have a tendency to have. Well, no, because every episode is them interacting with the main villains of the story in some way.
Yeah, if I remember right, Frontier does have like a good story, or at least from what I've heard, at least, and what I vaguely remember. And then it gets to the final. Yeah.
Back when I was a kid, I was like, oh, the turn of the Digimon, that's stupid, and I kind of waved it. But rewatching it, it's like, it's fine.
Yeah. Like,
I do think losing the dynamic between Kid and Digimon does suck.
Yeah.
But it's not as bad as I thought.
Yeah, if I remember right, it does have, like, you know, a good, like, story and, like, you know, good, like, pacing and stuff, or whatever, like, good, like, sequence of events happening, you know, stuff adding up to the plot, crap like that. And then it gets to the final arc, and every, like, episode for, like, something like 8 episodes in a row or some crap is just the main characters losing to the same villains over and over again. It's like every other side character sits off to the side doing nothing.
Yeah.
Because we have to, like, take back every area one, like, episode at a time, and it goes on forever. I don't know, like, how do you feel about, like, pacing being too fast versus too slow?
Because I would rather stuff be happening, as long as it makes sense.
Yeah. Like, there's definitely, like, a middle ground.
The only thing here that doesn't make a lot of sense to me is the peyote thing, but whatever.
Yeah. I feel like everything makes sense, but it's like, it's so jarbled and just, like, so just haphazard about it that it's, like, hard to follow, and it's kind of, like, ruining the experience. And I'm sure it'll, like, calm down fairly soon as we, like, you know, hit the, like, fake end of the series and then go into the real end, or however the heck they handle it. I don't know, that'll be really interesting to see when we eventually get to it, because, like, if I'm reading the old version of the manga through scans, then I'm going to see the original ending, and I'll be able to talk about that crap. That's gonna be fascinating.
Yeah, things might calm down significantly when people stop dying and resurrecting for a little bit.
Right, there's something I should mention, because it was, like, a really interesting thing that someone said, but it's like, someone did specifically say that, like, after we watch episode 44, which I assume they've, like, plotted out in the, like, you know, sequence of events to figure out where it's, like, going to happen, like, you know, what events are going to happen around that point, that I should go back and reread chapter 100, I think they said. I'll have to look back to make sure. So I'll make sure to do that, and that should be, like, really interesting to see what they're, like, referencing.
Which chapter is episode 100?
Chapter 100, yeah.
Yeah. What's chapter 100?
I honestly don't remember, but it's probably in the middle of the Ozarian Revar, I think. Actually, let me just check, just to make sure, yeah. Paradise of All the Spirits. I don't remember that tell, and that doesn't actually, like...
It might be spoilers to look into it then, so...
Okay, oh, this one, huh? Oh, really?
Was that an episode that was in the anime, or is it something else?
Yeah, so... I won't say what it is, just, like, in case, but yeah, that was definitely, like, feels way earlier on than I expected. Alright, I'm interested. Let's go. That should be something then, holy crap. So yeah, I guess, any other thoughts or whatever?
No, not really. That's pretty much it. Next episode's 44, isn't it?
Yes.
Oh boy.
So literally next episode, we're somehow going to have to tie into that, I suppose.
So yeah, that's interesting. I'm excited then. And maybe Ghost Game will have something happen next week. I doubt it.
Yeah, I'll definitely be able to get into more when we like actually get there and see if it was like, like what they're talking about, or if like the anime mistimes or more of the crap. But yeah, alright. So yeah, I guess see you guys around later.